Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we got some topics to go through. I'm sure you'll enjoy, so sit back, relax, and let's get straight into the first topic. We have Chelsea plot new move for Southampton star Mohamed Salisu after talks collapse. Now the talks collapsing were either last summer or last January. There were reports that we were going in from then, so that's the whole talks collapse thing. And apparently we are plotting a move for the Southampton star this summer. Again, if Southampton do go down, I mentioned this in the previous video when we were talking about Lavia, if they go down, the prices of these players likely go down with them. So, could be a good time to raid some talents from Southampton. There we go. It says in January he was close to joining us, but it didn't quite happen, and we've said that we were going to revisit it in the summer. His contract runs until 2024. He had joined from Real Valladolid, I almost butchered that. It is believed 25 million could be enough to secure the defender at the end of the season, so about 25 million pounds for a centre-back. Now, in my eyes, that's a strange move for Chelsea. The impression I've had recently is that the centre-back situation, obviously, Fofana, Badiashile, and then currently Thiago Silva is obviously a mainstay in there, but Levi Colwill, Trevor Chalobah, I've got a funny feeling Trevor's going to leave, and I'll be upset if that happens. I do think he's a very good player, at least good enough to be a squad player, and play more than he does currently, but I do have a feeling he's leaving, so I guess maybe Salisu is, the replacement in that regard. If we take a look at some of his stats, you can see that he is, of course, a centre-back left-footed and plays on the left side typically. 23 years old, as I said, Ghanaian international, and plays for Southampton, only on 25 grand a week according to this website, so should be fairly cheap on the wages too. You can see he's only got one assist, but centre back, really not anything we're worrying about, but no goals, so not really an aerial threat, even though he is about 6'3", as you can see highlighted up there. Looking at his stats compared to the positional peers in the men's Big 5 leagues, you've heard it all before when I go over this website stats. You can see some very strong ones here. For a centre-back, he does get a good number of shots away, might get one a game roughly, one in every 4, I guess he doesn't. Shot creating actions, about one a game, that's pretty good for a centre-back, so he's progressive, I guess would be the way to describe that. Not too bad on a take-on, but then obviously the defensive stats down here are where you're sort of seeing him shine. Tackles, 2.3 a game, 89th percentile for that. Very strong numbers. Interceptions, maybe a little bit lower, bit weak on predicting the game, but then blocks, top 99 percentile, 2.4 a game. Clearances, 5.5 a game, top 95% for that. Then aerials 1 is very strong at about 79% there, around 2.5 aerials 1 per game. So you're looking at a very strong player. You can see the players that he's compared with here. Of course, Ethan Ampadu, currently on loan at Spezia, but a Chelsea player when he comes back. Matt Hummels at Dortmund, these are the sort of players that you're seeing him compared to based on their statistical profiles. So let's have a think about this. Do we think that Salisu is a good enough player for Chelsea? I do. Again, at least as a squad option. For me, it's a silly one though. If we've got a homegrown player like Trevor Chalobah that we're almost exclusively not using under Graham Potter, and we're going for Salisu, are we going to play him to start on the left? In my head, that is, Badiashile's comfortable on that side. We've of course got Koulibaly. I don't know if he's going to be leaving maybe in the summer. Kukureya is playing at left centre back at times, so he's used as a left footer. But the main one is Levi Colwill. We're seeing him having a pretty decent season at Brighton when he's playing, and for me, he is the future. It seems silly to go and spend 25 million on someone like Salisu when you've got a guy that's going to be coming into the team next year. Maybe they don't want to rush him in and they want to say, next year you'll be riding the bench. But then what about the year after? Salisu's a young player, so wouldn't it make more sense to keep Koulibaly, play him as the left centre back, or Badiashile, whoever we're going to keep there, and then integrate Levi Colwill that way? Unless the plan is to sell Colwill. We know that the reports are that the new ownership of Chelsea are looking to sell some of the homegrown talents because it counts as pure profit on the books when they're sort of balancing all these transfers that they're making. So it could be that unfortunately players like Levi Colwill have to go, hence maybe why Mason Mount is one that's on the chopping block, Trevor Chalobah one that's on the chopping block. It's a shame because these players homegrown players are a good thing at a club. They understand the culture. They understand what it is to be a trophy-winning player. So for me, silly to be buying a player like him, but admittedly, he is a good player based on the stats that we see from him anyway. Then we have another update from Pete O'Rourke, which is SportsPO, on Twitter, a transfer correspondent for Footy Insider 24/7, saying Chelsea are prepared to bid 100 million for their top priority target, Victor Osimhen. Now, we saw similar sort of reports the other day, but I don't recall ever seeing that we are prepared to go to £100 million to get him. And of course, what a player Osimhen would be, I did say that I guess I'll probably lean more towards him. Of course, the other option is someone like a Ivan Toney at Brentford, who's just sort of started for England and getting on that stage now. But apparently we're willing to go to 100 million to get Osimhen, so I think it would definitely be more of a case of he is the prime target, as it says here, the top priority transfer. If we can't get him, then we look at players like an Ivan Toney, and players more of that price range and that ability. But whew, Chelsea will go 100 million. We are showing no signs of slowing down in the transfer market. It's crazy out here. It's crazy to be a Chelsea fan at the moment, but that's why we love the club, right? Constant carnage, and Osimhen in a Chelsea shirt would be outstanding, I have to admit. So the more and more I'm hearing of this, the more I'm getting excited. But Napoli are a very difficult club to negotiate with, and they often ask for very high prices, and I'm sure they will for someone like Victor Osimhen. So it's going to be a tough one. Might not even happen in this transfer window. It might take, closer to his contract ending for him to ever leave Napoli. Then we have some more details on the Kante contract situation. He mentions about the friendly he was in the other day earlier in the week. That's not what I wanted to focus on. The last few details of the contract would be that it would be valid for 2 years plus 1 season club option. So we're giving him a guaranteed 2 years, which I think is fair. It doesn't commit us long term to his high wages if he doesn't return from this injury very well. And then the club can choose to act upon an extra extension there. And I think that's a very wise deal. I think 1 year he just never would have committed to that, and he would have gone elsewhere. So giving him the 2 years and then an option for the club, and I'm sure even if he doesn't turn out to be as good as Kante can be, and we decided we needed to sell him, I'm sure there's plenty of clubs in Europe that would take a Kante that's 80% of what he previously was, because he was right here, top of the top. So good news on that. Looks like a 2-year deal with an extension possible. I'll take that all day. Then we have the news that Anthony Barry, of course the coach that is well regarded at Chelsea, has been or is being poached by Thomas Tuchel's Bayern Munich. An official approach has been made. Whether the club are going to accept, I don't know. I guess we'll see how that goes in the coming days. But yeah, it's going to be happening, and I hope, he joined under Lampard, and yeah, so many great things said about him. It says the highly rated coach has had several offers to manage in the Football League, but he's turned on his offers because he wants to keep working at one of the biggest clubs and soak up knowledge. So hopefully that stays, that sort of, maybe he does see Bayern as definitely a big club and a place where he can get maybe some different knowledge, you're bouncing around, picking up bits of information here and there to improve his craft. So I really hope he stays, but Tuchel's going to be doing everything he can to get him from the Blues. Then we got a topic here, Chelsea going for another wonder kid. His name is Mason Melia, and apparently we have submitted multiple bids according to Football Insider. He is 15 years old, and Liverpool have been going in on trying to get him. Of course, I can't show you the video, but he did become the youngest ever goal scorer for the club that he's currently at. So it's crazy what Chelsea are doing. We're taking all of the young talent in Europe, in the world. We're going for every single one of them. But yeah, it's an exciting time because, these players that are 15 now, obviously not going to be anywhere near the first team, but give it 4 or 5 years and this guy could have developed into a top talent, being at, Chelsea and going out on loan to the clubs that we send our players out to, and could become a absolute beast of a footballer. So Mason Melia, remember the name, remember the video. If you found out about him through this video, and in 5 years time he becomes a Chelsea striker, you know where you heard it from. But that's going to be the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy, leave a like, hit subscribe and the notification bell, and you'll never miss a video of mine. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.